Alright, listen up. Today we're gonna talk about some of the worst beatings in the UFC, and we're gonna start right off with Max Holloway versus Kelvin. It was a 50-43 on two judges' scorecards, and even a 50-42 on another scorecard. That's 3 10-8s by two judges, and the other judge even gave Holloway 4 10-8s, which is just borderline, not even borderline, it is straight up mental, it is crazy. Basically, Holloway won this fight 7-0 and there's only 5 rounds, or even 8-0 according to another judge, like if we simplified the points instead of using the weird boxing language 50-42. The 10-9 system is stupid. I'm gonna make another video about that. And we all know Kattar trash talked. He didn't even trash talk that much. He just had that one line when the senior and the freshman, and that Holloway is a freshman compared to him in striking.
Like, he actually said the age thing, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know Qatar was that old either.
I'm the elder. If this was high school, I'd be a senior, he'd be a freshman. In that octagon, I'm gonna treat him like the freshman.
Holloway took it too hard, and he landed 454 significant strikes, and he set a record. He painted him red. He dodged his punches without looking, which is already bad enough. He's dodging the punches, not even looking at him. But why was he not looking at him? Because he was screaming at the commentary team about how he's the best boxer. And he didn't even talk to Kattar. Like, he didn't, sometimes you trash talk your opponent. Nah, Holloway was just so far above him. Like, Kattar was not worthy. Okay, I'm over exaggerating. But he wasn't even trash talking Kattar. He was just screaming at the commentary team, I'm the best boxer and all that. We've all seen the clips hundreds of times. I don't have to tell you what happened. So next up, Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. Yeah, unfortunately, we feature Max again. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. And here, Max Holloway is the nail. It was a clean sweep, a 50-44. He bloodied him up big time. Like, Holloway had that usual cut, like, in the middle of his face. He trash talked him during the fight, like, I'm too fast for ya, that Australian motherfucker. And the worst thing is that this was actually the 3-0 in their trilogy. Like, Volk beat him 3 times, and the third time was absolutely the worst. He pretty much shut down Holloway's career as a potential future champ. This must have been such a soul-crushing defeat, but I think Holloway, being such a good guy and being rather laid back, could take the loss. But I think a lot of fighters can really cope with that. So next up, we got Khabib versus Michael Johnson. Oh my lord, I love this fight. I really gotta be honest. Like, it turned me into a Khabib fan, because I remember it was at the beginning of my UFC journey. McGregor versus Khabib was scheduled, and I've seen McGregor. I watched some stuff about his career and all that. And then I wanted to see, okay, so what does this Khabib guy do? And then the first fight I checked out, I remember it was a free fight on YouTube. It was Khabib versus Michael Johnson. And I was just fascinated, because I have never seen someone just grapple someone and hold someone down like that and leave them with no chance. Like, I was fascinated and I was hooked right off the bat. I immediately became a Khabib fan in that very second. To this day, he's my favorite fighter. But I have to stop yapping and talk about the actual fight. Khabib Nurmagomedov landed 140 strikes in that fight to Michael Johnson's 20 or something like that. And he had 94 significant strikes, and Michael Johnson only had 19 significant strikes. People try to pretend Johnson hurt him at some point, but nah. Khabib destroyed him straight up. Nah. Khabib just had ruthless ground control and ground punches. He talked to Dana in between rounds, how he would smash Conor, and then he almost broke Michael Johnson's arm. We remember he got him in that Kimura. Actually pretty funny, Conor was actually main eventing that night. Yeah, against Alvarez. But yeah, Khabib then did go on to beat down Conor. We could also feature that fight in this video, but I actually made another video about the most soul-crushing defeats. And there you can see me talk about McGregor a bunch, But let's actually talk about Conor McGregor right now. We're gonna talk about his victory versus Eddie Alvarez, and man, this was bad. First of all, taking a look at the statistics, it's 40-12 strikes, 32 significant from Conor, only 9 from Alvarez. He moved up from 145, and he was supposed to be schooled by the veteran, the little trash talker, but he lit Eddie up, and he was everything Kattar wanted to be against Holloway. He knocked Eddie down 3 times with lightning fast left hands and combinations. He taunted him by putting his hands behind his back, which was crazy. And he made him look stupid, honestly. Like, if you look at that fight, Eddie looks stupid. Like, I don't have any problem with Eddie. I'm sorry to say that, but it's just how I felt, and I felt sorry. Never really followed up a lot with ground strikes, which makes it even worse. Like, knock down the guy, let him get up and all that. And then he KO'd him in beautiful lightning quick fashion, a beautiful combo. And he even trolled him in the post-fight interview with the whole apology thing. Remember, Eddie demanded an apology from him before the fight.
No, I came for an apology from him. I want an apology for saying my wife and kids. Suck these big artist balls. Hey, if you don't apologize, then I'm going to make them beg.
And Conor McGregor said he apologizes to absolutely no one.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Worst thing is, this was a historical event in terms of UFC, because it was, first of all, in the Madison Square Garden. It was, I think at the time, the highest viewed pay-per-view, but I'm not sure, but it was definitely up there. And we watched McGregor become the first double champ, so this defeat for Eddie Alvarez will never quite be cleared from history. Yeah, that's the video.